Alright, so we got our carburetor and our fuel tank vent for our Husqvarna. Time to put them on. Let's start with the carburetor. Yeah, this is a number 4 hex driver. These 4 bolts out. Take these got a little hole in them. I just usually take a little flathead screwdriver and kind of pull that up to where I can get a little leverage, and then pop this out. Get your fuel bulb out of there. And you still got fuel lines holding this in place. So I'm gonna get a pair of these, put my fuel lines off carefully. The short, I think, yeah, the long thing out of the fuel line goes on the tube that goes back down into the tank. The short nipple, I guess you would say, on the fuel line comes out of the carburetor right here. Okay, I'm just gonna let that baby hang down out of the way. Hopefully this part of the air filter assembly. I've got 2 more things I need to get loose. One of them is this extra air situation, and usually you can just push your carburetor up, get it even with that, like so. Turn it a little bit and pop it out of there. Just let this thing hang here if you can, so you're gonna have to take it off and put it back on. The next thing is this. It actually has a throttle cable. Okay, so if you push this down, loosen that cable, just get it out of that little slot right here, and you can just about get it out, but you got a little bit more to do. It's got a little slot down here that the cable goes into. So you want to take something, try to push it out of that slot, like so. Just get your screwdriver and push it out of there. And work your cable out, and you're free, okay? Next, it's got a fuel line right here. It's gonna need to come off. So, once again, without putting a lot of pressure on it, it's not too hard to get that thing off. Kind of work it around here, you can get behind it. Just kind of push it off like that. Now this fuel line is going to come out with the carburetor, so you don't have to worry about that. And you've just got a little slot and this little holder got under there. And we'll just push that out just a little bit, maybe even push down on it a little bit. See if you can pop your carburetor out of there. Yeah, it'll usually just come right out. And go ahead and transfer your fuel on. Yeah, fuel smells good. Transfer your fuel line onto your new carburetor in the same spot, and put it back on there. Kind of have a look down here in your this little vent, make sure it looks clear, it's not stopped up with stuff. It is, clean it out. And we know this is our good carburetor, because our bad carburetor is going over here. Now we're going to get the fuel tank that's down here, or the fuel vent that's down here. We're going to have to get it in. So first thing I'm going to do is empty the fuel out of it. Probably don't want to spill gas on an electric tool, so I'll move that out of the way. Fuel out. And if you're messy like me, you're probably going to dump the rest of it out kind of like that. Now, the good thing about it is you don't have to take your fuel lines out of your tank to do this. But the first thing you are going to have to do, you're going to have to get this off. The bolt here, the bolt here. Bolt there, and two on the bottom. Right here. And right here. Want to get this out and then twist it that way a little bit, it'll come right off there. When you get kind of push that out of the bottom and then just twist it this way, you can get it right off. Now we want to take this part loose from this part loose from this part. Looks like we've already got our bolts out right here. We've got a little rubber right there, but it's not holding anything. It's just a shock mount. But we do have a bolt right here that's going into this spring. So I'm gonna take it loose. Kind of keep up with the length of the bolts and which goes where. These two short ones go in the bottom of the saw, and then these three longer ones go in this side of the handle. These two short ones go in the bottom of the handle. This one goes in the side, but it's exactly the same as the one that goes in the side of the handle, so it doesn't matter if you get those in different places, they'll be fine. Now you want to just gently move these fuel lines kind of through your holes there a little bit. That one and this one. I'm just going to pull it around through the back. It's not hard. Don't push hard on this. Don't make a hole in your fuel line. Just a little bit. A little bit of pressure and it'll go through there. And when you start putting it back, it'll pop right back through. You can pull it. Okay. I think that's all the bolts that are holding it. Nope, I am wrong. I got to take one more out. So I am gonna have to take, no really, I don't think I have to take the blade off to do this. Or the bar. I think I could just take that loose right there. Ooh, that's got some dirt in it, don't it? So much dirt that it's not wanting to grip, so we got an air compressor for that. Clean that bolt out. See if we can get it loose now. There we go. Take this out. The old sticky and oily. Drop him over there. And I think this baby's ready to come out. Yep, it'll come loose. Should be able to work this thing out of here. We're trying to get this around this spring. Keeping no eye on your fuel lines there. Ah, got one more that's got to come out. I forgot about that one. If I did chainsaws every day, I would not forget this. This baby right here. Find no if I'm gonna be able to get that tool on it or not. So if not, I'm gonna have a choice. Nope, not gonna strip that out. I'm gonna go over here, get me a 4 hex wrench, T-hex wrench. Now you can do this whole thing with one of these wrenches and not spend $250 on that. Remember, we got a little shock mount right here. It's probably gonna fall off. Things don't want to come out, and really that's a good thing. Ooh, I haven't cleaned this saw yet, really haven't. Didn't realize that. I believe I'm loose from that, because it doesn't seem to be want to be coming anymore. Yeah, it's definitely got to be loose. It's probably been easier if I just took the bar off, and I'm just being stubborn about it right now. So I might have to give up and go ahead and get my bar out of there. Yeah, I believe I will. Well, tried. But this is a 1/2 inch. Always was and always will be, I guess. It's Husqvarna's. Yeah. Let the stubborn cease. Ooh, yeah, this needs cleaning too. I just didn't do it because I knew I needed more parts. And I knew it didn't have a chance until I got more parts. You want to take it off your bar, just work it back here, and it'll just come right out. That chain definitely needs sharpening. It's beat up. Let your bar off. We'll put it right there for now. Now, let's get you out of here, buddy. Yeah, it's coming on out there. I put absolutely no pressure on it, it's coming out of there. There we go. Woo! Oh, that's black. And it's got a long, smooth part, and then some threads here. And I'm not sure if the threads are just worn off or what. Let's see a little. Well, maybe not. This up here, I don't want to tear those wires up. There we go. See, you're gonna pull your fuel line on through here. Just don't put a lot of stress on your tank. It's got stuck back in the a little slot, so we got to get it out of there. There we go. Now we got it. So we can set this baby down here for a minute. And right there is our tank vent. And you might tear it up a little bit getting it out of there. Sometimes if I can get these bigger pliers on it, I like to use that because I feel like it gives me a little more pulling power. Pop her out. Just kind of gummy, gunky looking. Okay. So that vent goes right there, and I'm going to put a little compressed air through there. Just to make sure we're good and clean. Yeah, I done stuck my finger in the tank and I can feel air coming in the tank, so that's a good thing. I'm not going to try to blow all this off because I don't want to blow that dirt down in that gas tank. I am going to take hopefully a clean corner of a cloth and wipe as much of it away from it as I can. Get a little cleaner looking. New tank vent out of the package. And it just pushes in, just like so. Now, how's this? It wouldn't hurt to blow a little of this stuff off before we put it back together. Yeah, stay away from that gas tank. Try to clean this up a little bit. See what that saw looks like coming through there. Use a little bit more wiping or compressed air. No, it's pretty clean under there. Not too bad, not too shabby. Let's go ahead and wipe out our oiler adjustment. That adjusts the oiler on this saw. I'm gonna put all this back together and close up my gas tank and stick an air filter back on there before I attempt. Okay, so this to use any more compressed air on this thing because I don't want it going in places like this, like that, the dirt, because that's not going to be good. Okay, so we got these two things, these two blue things that kind of fit in a slot here. And yeah, that does get a little heavy if you hang on to it long enough. But the first thing I want to do before I do all that is I want to start my throttle cable up into this hole. want to start my fuel drain up into this hole. And I want to start my gas line. I call this a gas drain because it really does. It just takes it back to the tank and cycles it through. I want to start my gas line right up into this slot right here. Get them started through there a little bit. And we're going to work this thing back together. Let's go right in the slot where it's supposed to go. This one. And you got this little metal thing to contend with. It's supposed to come through here. It has a little slot of its own there that it needs to go in. So you got to muscle it a little bit to make it work. And you got to watch your lines. Go ahead and pull them in through there as much as you can. You got your throttle cable coming up through here, so we're good on that. Yeah, I just have to give it just a little tweak here, because this is not exactly where it's supposed to go yet. I don't think. Now, ha ha ha, we're there. We are there, ladies and gentlemen. You want to put this grommet back in here like so. I don't think that'd be a really good screw to start first. So we'll find our hole in our grommet while we can still really move this thing around. Okay, that's lovely. I went ahead and tightened it. I don't know why, but I just did. So hopefully, so the thing will hold together, I can get the rest of it where I want it. Okay, and you want to pull your fuel line until your little bottom rib right here is back up on this side, and you want to pull your other fuel drain line gently, not. See, until that pops through, just like that. And then this goes under your manifold. That's called the manifold, intake manifold, like so, okay? So we're good on that. Now the next thing is the screw that came out of here. That's the way we took them apart. That's the way we're going to put it back together. And it's one of these screws, remember? These four are our bolts our carburetor and air filter assembly back in. So I'm going to take one of these. I'm going to go right here. That hole is, oh no! And I'm gonna drop it. Where did it go? Ah, I see it. I might edit this part out. Put it right through here. Turn it a little bit by hand. Good tight fit. I like that. Okay, well, that set it in place, didn't it? Yay. Then we've got Mr. Oily screw that goes right down in here. Well, I've got this thing out. I'm gonna wipe it off. Clean it a little bit. Okay. Remember, this thing is really about only one way. I mean, you could try to put it in there like that, but surely not. Put this down on the bottom and put it in there. Snug it up. Don't stupid tighten it. Okay, so we got all that back together. We got our fuel lines coming through here. We got our throttle cable right here. Okay, so Mr. Throttle Cable, I'm gonna do this a little different this time. Let's see if I can get Mr. Throttle Cable into this slot before I put the carburetor back in. That sounds like a better idea. Well, feel free to improve on the way I do this. So I probably do about 80 of these saws a year, and I don't have to do all this to all of them, so. Make sure we get this stuff out of the way, and we're going for the hole again, right down here, okay? So let's watch it again. Let's watch it at least start into that hole. Ah. That looks like a good place right there. I want to get this throttle cable down here out of the way. Oh, she snapped in so easy that time. Okay, and now we've got our little black guide right here and our other little black guide right there. So let's see about getting this throttle cable in. Oh, it went right up where it was supposed to be. So all I have to do is push this down a little bit. I'm gonna try this little screwdriver first. Pop this right down in here. Pull it back. Not hardly. We're almost there. There we go. Next, I got these things at Harbor Freight, and I think I'm probably got 3 or 4 of them for maybe $13. I highly recommend these things. It makes so much stuff so much easier. Don't squeeze your fuel lines tight. Just hold them. Hey, just hold them. Hold them kind of like that, so you're not doing this stuff. It's going to upset your carburetor and upset your fuel lines and end up leaking fuel, and it's just not a pretty thing. Okay, so next, I think we've got most of this back together, and I see no reason to not put that handle back on. Okay. Remember, it came off kind of like this, so put this over here, put this part, put that down in your slot, put this part in this slot, and you're almost ready to go back with it, I believe. So let's start a couple of screws. Now, I am going to start all these before I tighten any of them. So I've got 2 more to go. So make sure we're in there like we're supposed to be, and I do believe we are. Let's turn that by hand a little bit. Turn this one by hand a little bit. Get our bottom screws started, and we'll probably just go ahead and tighten them. Woo, what a big puddle. Looks like oil. So I don't want to let all this down in oil, so I'm gonna wipe that up real quick. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Woohoo! Now, if you're really careful, you can do this. You can put it right there and just barely hold it. And just let it start itself. Just don't put any pressure on it. Okay. And we got this one. Okay. He's good and tight. This one. Remember, don't grind on these things and put them tight, because you're screwing metal into plastic, and it will only take so much. And it will rebel against you. Okay, so we got the handle back on. We're gonna put these two fuel lines back on. Remember, the fuel line that comes from the carburetor right here goes into the short nipple. The fuel line that comes from the tank and goes around under the carburetor, this one, see it move right here when I tug it, because it's going to the tank, it goes to the long nipple. If you remember that, I would make an estimate that people have, by now, after 10 years of doing this, have literally paid me thousands of dollars because they made that one mistake trying to put their chainsaw back. And that doesn't mean I charge a lot to do it. It just means there's been a lot of people who've done that. Okay, let's get this baby, push them all the way on. Remember, don't squeeze them too tight. Just get a grip and push. Push on the fuel line, not squeezing as you push. Okay. So we got this back together. Now, we're going to make sure our wires are underneath our carburetor. Okay. And that may take a little doing. You just got to be careful. Push them around, make sure they go underneath, not across. And see, it's wanting to go across right now, and that's not cool. We don't want that. We want these wires back in here. Yeah, there we go. Get them over there. Get them under. And then we're going to make sure get our fuel bulb through here. Okay. And then we'll see that just kind of snapped into place. And we're just going to kind of get our carburetor into place the best we can. And then we're going to put this one in first. I believe that's the way I do it. By putting this little screwdriver in here and pulling it up. Pull it up. Get your little, I don't know what those things are called, but you know, those things. Out like that. Pull this one up. Pop this one in. Make sure that when you pull this out, you're going to catch your choke and turn it on. Do you see it? This is the choke right here. We caught it and we turned it on. We can turn it off just like that. Make sure your throttle's working. Oh, what did we forget? What did we forget? We forgot to put this in here. Well, I forgot. You're watching. It's not your fault. It's my fault, totally. So I'm going to see if I can do this without taking. That way I can move it. Move things here a little bit. You could even just move your throttle like that if you wanted to. So it's like that. Push this through here, and we're all good. See? Well, everything's working. It'll work better when I get this nailed down, but it's all working. Make sure your wires are still under your carburetor. Oh no! We lost the fuel line. We gotta do that one again. Pulled it out too far, didn't I? There we go. Make sure it gets on that nipple. Make sure it gets all the way on that nipple. Go ahead and check this other one while you're there. Just make sure they get on there. Work our ball back in here. Make sure our lines are still in place. They are. Pop this one in. Just make sure everything's going to line up here. So now we've got it all back together except for one thing. We need to put these 4 screws back in. Try to line my carburetor up so the holes, yeah, there we go. So the holes are what they're supposed to be. Little screws in the top, long screws in the bottom. You can just as easily use one of these or an Allen wrench. Well, not just as easily, but you know. So, I believe I've got everything back together, so we're going to see how this thing does. A little bit of gasoline in it. About a half a tank. I mean, if you can fill yours up if you want to. I just don't do that with everything comes in here because non-ethanol fuel is more expensive. And we go through a lot of it here. Okay, so we got this. Let's pump it up. It says 8 times. My fuel lines are very connected. It's not pumping up. There's no fuel in the bottom of it. fuel filter is buried in gasoline. No, not really. Not really. It's kind of over. Yeah, it's covered with gas. Go ahead and see if I can start it. Ooh, we're getting close. Getting a little closer. Check and see where these low and high idle adjustments are. Once again, the splined wrench. Hey, that's half in. One turn in on low idle, turn a half in on low idle, two turns in on low idle, 2.5 on low idle, 3 on low idle, 3.5 on low idle. So it's going 3.5 turns in. So let's go back. Half turn, turn, turn and a half, 2 turns on low idle. Let's see what we got. Try to choke for a minute. Getting fuel in there. Take our choke off. It's the one that we didn't want to idle down. Okay, this is our high idle. Half turn in, turn in, turn and a half in, 2 turns in. That's it. So it's out 2 turns, so I'm gonna come out 1 half. That's a turn. I'm gonna do a turn and a half out. Sound like it's revving up too much. Back my main throttle down a little bit, and I'm going to open that low idle. It's out a turn and a half, I think. I'm going to open it another half a turn. That's pretty good considering it doesn't have a chain and a bar on it. So I'm gonna clean this up, put the bar back on it, sharpen the chain, and take it from there.